Hopefully our mic is working. Is our mic working? Somebody jump in. Let me know that the mic is working. Say you got audio. Audio's good. I can hear you loud and clear. All right. Let me message a few people here. It's been a minute. John. Hello, by the way. Dave here with Affordable Door and Gate. Hope you're doing great. Hopefully, I think it's working. Few. Oh, welcome. Mr. Tanner's in the house. Tanner, as always, glad you're here. Hope you're doing good, my friend. I am working like a dog. Don't forget to hit the like button. Helps wake up the algo. At least that's what they say. I don't know if it really does, but it makes YouTube feel good. Oh crap! Evan's got. You guys are over on the live. Tanner, you know about this? Are they doing a live over on Tony's? Heck, I'll jump over there. See what's up. Let me make sure they're on. Haha, you stole Tony's stream? Oh no. I didn't know he was going. I've been it's been it's been crazy the last couple days. I have been beyond swamp. I mean, it's to the point of 4 to 5 hours of sleep. Ridiculous. There you go. You can jump right. So that's why I was letting Evan know. I said, "Hey man," I said, he had a few questions on here about some bottom seal and stuff like that. And that's why I apologize. If anybody's reached out to me, I have not responded because the phone is just sitting on the dash in the truck with the heater on. Because I'm out in the freezing cold. I can't do nothing anyways. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. We got Evan? He says, so many questions. Evan keeps asking Dave dumb questions. Nah, they're not dumb. They're all good and legit. It's just a matter of, like I said, it just being buried, man. Today started out with, cause I'm doing that gate job out in the cold that it should not be doing. Should just absolutely not have done it. The Milwaukee power pack let me down. So that completely went kapoof. You know what I mean? I left it on overnight and, yeah. So, today, when I seen it, like when you see a little blinking light in the background, yeah, it was no good. It was dead. So that stunk. And then, we ended up getting, what did I end up doing? Luckily the Honda's working. So that's working good. Let me see. Can't come to my live. Oh, snap, man. Tony's giving me crap, man. That's all good. Like I said, I'll probably jump over there. I'm beat. I am not gonna lie, because I can't even stay that long. Let me see. I want to see if Mr. Tony's on. Let's see if we can give him some crap. But yeah, so this job's just been going. Water was all frozen. That really stunk. I left the electric space heater rotating on the water last night. Wasn't enough. Dang, I see Tony. What's up, man? Is he driving? It popped up for a second. Nice. Oh man. I don't know what to even do. Oh man. Good evening. Is it Edgar? Edgar? What's up, Edgar? How you doing? What's up, fam? That's right. CC Motion. What's going on? You guys got anything? Like I said, bring it up. If not, like I said, depending on when Papa Tony here, I'll jump over, say hey over there too. I just had a few minutes. I wanted to jump on, just say hi. Evan had some questions about the bottom seal, and that bottom seal that Evan sent me. It looked like to me it was a skinnier one. Maybe T will fit in there. Maybe it's just a single T. I couldn't tell by the picture, but you might have to do a whole bottom retainer, a different retainer for that. And then the side seal. Let me see what else he had. Something on the side seal. Oh, and I wanted to congrats him on what did he get here? Where's he at? Boom, right here. He said the store had my first builder call me today. That's awesome. That's awesome. Take it, just to remember. Yeah, yep. So right, he says I can't remember, Dave. He said, did you say to avoid working with builders? It's not. You just. So here's the thing, right? I've had it where I ended up so many times. I gotta get this cat. I think. Nope, we're good. I've had it so many times. How do I explain it? You just got to go slow. You got to be careful. It's one of those things that you gotta you got to use caution, right? Here's one example. One example is, why did they call you? Why? Why did they call you? That's where you start playing detective. Why did you call me? Did you call me because I was the 20th person that will actually listen to you and entertain you because you've ran everybody else in town? We got a builder. He's actually a pretty big builder. At least home builder, just stick built, single family, but like 4 bathrooms, 4 bedrooms, beautiful place. But he uses subs that are all of an hour away from here, no matter which direction, right? And I even worked with him a little bit. And I remember I was like, I went in there thinking like, I'm going to give him like a sweet deal, right? He had it for his own building. He bought a property in the Muskegon area. And then he lives like 45 minutes away over in like the Hudsonville area. And he always is like, oh man, he's like over here, market's way better. Houses, the land's a lot cheaper. So I build over here. Okay. Well, anyways, he had his own commercial property. He had a couple swing gates. One had some damage to it. So I went and looked at it, and I'm thinking I want to get in with this guy because I know our competition is the one that does work for him. And so I told him, I was like, you could replace the gate. It's probably $600. This is quite a few years ago. I said, or, I'm like trying to pull everything out of my hat. And I said, I could probably repair it. I got to take it off, take it to the shop. I got to cut the piece of pipe out. I said, you're probably looking at $200. And I mean, he just sat there and he was like, man, I don't know. He goes, well, let me think about it, and I'm like, think about it. I mean, I just told you I could repair it for $200, or we could replace it for $600 or $200. I mean, and anyways, so then I found out listening to some other builders that one guy was working for him doing drawings, and one set of drawings is X amount of dollars. I don't remember how he's charged, $100, $500. Well, he kept bringing them back, wanting changes. And he's like, if I do this again, this is X, this is more money. And the guy kind of got fluffy about it, Well, anyways, talked to an excavator. Excavator used to work for him, doesn't work for him anymore. That's why he has to sub out. So you just always got to be, and it's kind of, you got to find that sweet spot, right? Like you don't want to undercharge, you got to kind of stand your ground and charge your fair price. But then the also other thing is those builders can be a little goofy about payment. They think you should bow to them. So for me, I would still, we got a big commercial one still. We still get 50% down. So I would be like, get 50% down. And if they bark about it, whatever, then fine. You buy the product. I'll install it. You're saving money. I'm not marking it up. Just an idea. So I'm not saying turn it down. I just know back in the 08 when things were going crazy, when I first started out, I was hungry. I was like anybody that would just listen to me or I could get in front of, was like, oh, what, like the one big builder, like I said, had SUVs. They're putting up all these multiple houses, then come to find out my buddy that used to work for him. He's like, dude, he was horrible. He'd make us install the garage doors on dirt floors. And they wouldn't even have backfill in there. We'd have to put extension ladders up to stack the door. And I'm like, what? And I'm assuming they're trying to get a draw from the bank is what they're trying to do. So they can show when the bank appraiser, whoever comes out, and they go, see, we got the windows in, we got the siding on. So can we get another draw? They're always playing that game. So I'd use caution. You know what I mean? At least if you get your material covered, boom. You know what I mean? Tony's almost home. What's up, Rich B? Hope you're doing good. I seen you guys were chatting up today. It's all good. Good. I glanced through them. I couldn't stay much. Like I said, either I was driving because I'm an hour away. And luckily the weather was better today. So I made it there basically in an hour. But the trip is killing. The trip is killing. You got 2 hours eating up today and every day right now with traveling. Traveling is the death. I was literally thinking about you guys today, and I told myself I would not, I mean, even 45 minutes is pushing it for me nowadays. I'm more like sitting like 20, 30. You know what I mean? 20, 30 minutes or SOS, 5 Mile Famous. I think that's very true. Richard's in the house. What's up, Richard? Says, hey guys. Rich B, how'd it go today? Rich, how do you explain it? I think I mentioned, or maybe I didn't mention, that I don't really care to put in, the 12, 14, 17-hour days like I used to. And I'm sitting all of 14 right now. And so I could be grinding my teeth a little bit. I think I'm a little more prepared as long as the truck don't catch on fire tonight. I got the torpedo heater in there. So as long as the propane tank doesn't over gas and let out fumes, which would be, I'll take video for you if it happens. I got her heating up. I need an electric blanket. I really need to find, I never bought one before. I don't know if they're super expensive or not, but I need almost like a concrete blanket, something that's robust. Because if I had a blanket right now, I could lay over the water tanks. Because I did do the cylinder thing for a fish tank. It's just not enough. It's just too much volume. I went with a smaller one instead of a bigger one. And then the problem is, like, right now I got gallon jugs next to it too. So like here happened today, right? Is Rusty in the house? I see Rusty's here. What's up, Rusty? Been thinking about you, Rusty. Man, Rusty, we need Rusty to do a live. That's what we need. I think with Papa Tony, I think it'd be great. I really do. Because we all need to raise our numbers. We need to make more money. Been thinking about it. So, but anyways, I got out to the job. All the water jugs were frozen solid, even though I had a space heater, a little electric one blowing on it all night. Not enough. Too cold outside. So they were frozen. So luckily the truck I got, that rental, it's got a massive heater in it. I mean, it's got to be 90 plus in there. So I threw all the water jugs in there first thing this morning, but you know what I mean? Like it throws you all off. Like all of a sudden it was like, oh, the Milwaukee power pack is dead. Great. Cause I kind of been using that up in the truck, and then the generator outside for the mud mixer and stuff like that. So that was kind of just a kick in the hiney. And then water jugs are frozen. Sweet. The big water jug is right on the verge of frost. Like you can hear slush in it. And then the valve got frozen. So it could have been worse. I'm not gonna lie. Luckily the SkyTrack is still there. That was a big help. We had an extra hand today, so that was very helpful. So we made progress. It's just the win, man. I mean, even when we were cleaning out the mud mixer, the turn barrel, whatever you call them, it was the water was freezing up on it. So we had to have a torpedo heater blowing on that just to keep it somewhat lukewarm. 10 minutes after we got done doing the valve on the thing, it was already like water was dripping out. It like froze around. I couldn't put the cap on. Not good. Not the good operator. So could have been worse. Yes. Could have been better. Absolutely. I can't put these up on the screen like I normally do. Edgar, good evening, gents. Love it. What's up, fam? I think I missed some. I missed some. So many. Evan, amen. Tanner says, amen, brother. Yeah, I was watching. I jumped around both. He says, haha, stole Tony's stream. Man, I'm so sorry. I stole his thunder. If I would have known he was on, Tony should have put the Batman signal out. What's up? What's up? Oh, I see Tony's down there somewhere. I'm gonna probably get a licking. I can't remember, Dave. Did you say to avoid working? Evan says, what they told me they want someone locally because they are using the red label company from 2 hours away currently. Okay. So, I mean, one thing I can add to that, Evan, is if they're using the red label company, they not stupid. So typically they charge, they're going to charge. And then what they also do too is they're going to charge as soon as they get in the truck when they leave their shop. So I've heard a lot of people complain about them. Even in our local towns, they'll be like, yeah, we're using overhead and we're not going to use them anymore, or whatever, blah, blah. And I ain't gonna lie, it was kind of dumb on my part because sometimes we'd be doing the 45 minutes to an hour drive somewhere and we weren't charging. And I'd be like, oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of silly, isn't it? Like when I was green, and now I look at it and I'm like, hmm, what do you think we're gonna do? That's what we're gonna do. You know what I mean? Like when you're in the truck, you got to be on the clock. So luckily for you, that's your advantage. But just remember, you basically don't screw yourself in the price. You know what I mean? Work with them. Say, uh, just say, does this look reasonable? Or like I said, you can just tell them, say, I'd like to entertain this. I'd like to service you guys or whatever, but just be upfront. It's got to be fair. You understand that it's going to be after hours or maybe on the weekend. Um, they're fine with that. That's cool. That works better for you. Um, you know, keep your prices up. Stay close to Rusty. Stay close to Rusty. He'll steer in the right direction to what's probably fair and what needs to be done. He knows the numbers. Um, so just use caution. Like I said, biggest thing is obviously if you're going to buy something, or whatever, just make sure you're getting 50% down so they don't run on you. That's one thing. One guy told me one time. He says you always need to cover your cost of material. He says it's one thing you get burned on labor, but at least we got a check for half the material. And like I said, honestly, I actually like it. I like it. See, come on. Let's not play silly little games, right? You think the builder doesn't go to the hardware store or doesn't go to the lumber yard or doesn't go to wherever? Like they got resources, man. So one builder I know, he would actually uh, purchase the doors from a lumber yard. And worked kind of nice. You know why? Because it was like having a assistant, a secretary that you didn't pay for. Because he did even Horman. There were the Horman doors. I installed them. Yeah, they were there, you know, so I didn't have to haul them. I mean, this is great. So I didn't have to haul them. Everything was there. I mean, if I needed something, maybe you bring your normal stuff, nuts and bolts, maybe a little bit of extra angle, things like that. Some extra wire in case the wall button's got to be, your wire connectors, all that stuff. But it was nice. It was all there. I didn't have to haul it. I didn't have to store it. I didn't have to put it in my van in the morning. I just was like, fired up the van, drove over there. I installed it. I had a dent in it. And I was like, dang, dude. I was like, did I do that? And I was like, no, I didn't drop nothing. Like, that's not me. So I remember I called the dude. I was like, hey, man, I was like, doors all working good. I said, but I said, there's a dent under the window. And he goes, oh, that's normal. He says, everyone they sell us has some kind of damage on it. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, just wanted to let you know, like it wasn't on me. Now, what I do remember that was a boo-boo on that job is there was no drywall up yet. I think I mounted the wall button. I think I ran the wires inside the studs, so it'd be nicer for the drywall guys, so I could just poke it out the hole. Um, I left the buttons though. I clipped the remotes to um, to the manual, I believe, and I set it down. I know one guy. What he will do is he'll actually clip them to the pull cord. What I regret not doing on that job kind of one of those things. Like I said, like honestly, looking at it nowadays, the more thing I feel like we're just gonna have body cams. That's what we need. Just body cams like officers. And I wish I would have took pictures because a couple days later, I set everything down. I told him, I said, "Hey man, everything's good." He said, "Cool." He said, "Hey, actually, can you come with me to my house?" And of course, you know how it is. Like he's got, I mean, he might be a lot in debt. I don't know, you know what I mean? But he does concrete and stuff. But I mean, he's got the biggest like Ford truck you can imagine. Like it's only 2 days. I think he don't even drive them for like he drives them for 3 months and gets another one. I mean, that's just, this guy. He's always flashy, glasses, hair spiked, and he's like, can you run over to my house with me? And I'm like, yeah, I'll run over your house. So I go over there, program some remote, whatever. Oh man, sweet. Thanks. And a couple days later, though, I get a phone call from him, and he's like, "Hey," he's like, did you? There should have been two remotes." I'm like, "There was." Like, I clipped them to the remote, to the installation or yeah, yeah, instructions, and I said I let it sit right on the floor, kind of by the wall button, because like I said, no drywall in the whole building in the house, so I just set it between the joists, whatever studs. And he's like, "There's only one," and I'm like, Did the drywaller take it? Did a contractor, electrician there? I don't know why. Did somebody try to use it and then they misplaced it? They said it, they kicked it, it went down a vent, a heat vent. I don't know. And so now I'm kind of like in that, like, what's this guy think? I'm going to replace it? Like, so what I wish I would have done is I wish I would have took some pictures, especially that little stuff that can get little legs and walk away. And I would have sent it to him right away. I said, "Hey man, jobs looked great. I'll send you a few pictures. It's all good to go." And then I would have been ahead of him. You know what I mean? So he would have seen it and be like, "Oh, you already sent me a picture with two remotes there. So they're there." That's not, on him. And I don't know if he was trying to chisel me, or something, but I just felt kind of bad about it. Oh, water's tasting good. Mm. Do, do, do. Because labeled company, Tony's almost home. Hey guys. How today, Tony's what the F? He says, "Are you talking?" Taking my people. I'm so sorry, Tony. I told you I was gonna get a licking. I'm so sorry, man. I didn't look. I just jumped, man. I just literally just jumped out of the shower. I just got done outside. I got the truck all cleaned up. Had to get two jugs of kerosene. I'm so sick of the diesel smell. So I've been going to kerosene, and it's like, I don't know if this is around you guys or not. We don't have like nobody that sells kerosene except for this little ghetto gas station. And of course, it's prepaid. You know how that goes. And then you go in there. The guy, I mean, they only it's whatever the one people. I don't know what to call them, but they like they don't say, they're just like somebody, and then just look at you and you're like, put in the cash register, and I'm like, all set, good, receipt, have a good day, like, and they're like, and I'm like, I feel like I should just go in there with like my camera, like watching me, and I can like still pay attention to me. Like, yeah, what's up? What's up? I'm just recording. Yeah, I'm just recording to make sure that that I paid for gas. Right, here's 20. Yeah, here it went to you. So I'm gonna go outside when I come back in because the pump's not working because you didn't activate it. I'm be like, they're gonna be looking at me. Who are you? Like, you didn't even look at me in the first place. They didn't even say have a good day or thank you. Ah, Dave, better watch out. Tony is gonna kneecap you like Tanya Harding. Oh, I love it. What's Richard, guys? I have to send you some pictures of a commercial door I just fixed. Ooh, replace cables, 14-foot door. The drums has springs inside. Not very familiar. I've seen those little springs inside. They're goofy. They're goofy. It's like, I don't know if that's a good design or bad design. I assume like if it gets up and the door was crooked, you know how you get the slack or something in the cable, maybe it would suck that part up. I don't know how they activate. I've seen springs in there before. It is weird. Been a long time, but I'd love to see the pictures of them again. I should have kept some. Rich has got, what's Rich got? You can get a T stat for the torpedo heater. Oh yeah, yeah, that's a good idea. I got the pictures. I seen they came through. Thanks, Richard. I'll check them out later. Um, Yeah, so the one I got, it's just I don't like it. It's old. It kind of scares me. I never realized where the gauge is. Like the clear lens, whatever got broke. So like it spills out like gas, fuel. You know what I mean? Can't call it gas, right? Diesel, kerosene. It's fuel. Um, don't want to offend Tanner. So but it sloshed. So like, of course, I filled it up 3/4 of the way. I don't fill it up all the way. Filled up 3/4 was enough for obviously the ride home where it was like, I opened up the door and it's like, I know what that is. I can smell it. Some of it splashed out. So this one does have a thermostat on it, but what I found out is I typically like to almost kind of crank it up to a spot where it's like, if it got to that point, it's going to shut off. Maybe, I think it's set for, I got to go back out before the night ends, like 760 or something like that. Um, but if it kicks on and off a lot, you know how it is, it spits out those fumes. And man, so I know, I mean, don't get me wrong, the back of it smelled like cat pee, whoever took it before. So the diesel, I encourage the diesel smell versus like cat pee smell. So I probably end up mopping it out when I'm done because they tell you if you sweep it or whatever, blah blah. But I just do it because I know the guy that runs the place, and he's a good dude. So I'll bring it back somewhat. Um, but it bummed me out the other day. Actually, it was this morning. So well, the evening before, I was driving back, and no windshield wiper fluid. Brum, brum, brum. I had a little bit of ice up there, so I was thinking, maybe it's frozen. Morning came, I busted it. I was like, it's clear. It should be good. I used again, nothing, and I freaked out for a second. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a minute, I guess, since I've been in a big truck. I go to look for where the hood release is because I'm thinking I got windshield washer fluid. I'll put some in this thing, and the bracket's gone. There's a spot for it, but the bracket there's like no lever there. It's just like the cutout. I'm like, those rotten boogers. I was like, they don't let you pop the hood. Probably people steal caps, and they don't want people touching them. Because if they put "Oh, I think it needs oil, so I put water in there. And anyways, I walked outside. The truck's doing its thing, running, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's got the big hood on. It's got the latches. You got to bring the whole hood up, the whole fenders and everything." So I was like, "Geez." So I opened it up. Reservoir looked pretty empty, so I gave it about half because you know how your brain's always thinking, right, when you're a business owner. You're just sitting there. So I'm like filling up halfway. I'm like, I shouldn't fill it up all the way. Don't fill it up all the way. If I fill it up all the way and it doesn't work, I just put a whole freaking jug in here for a machine or something that doesn't work. It's broke. It's disabled. And then I thought, plus it was the only jug I had, so I kind of went, I need this. So I went out, washed the windshield, got it, wiped it. But luckily it worked. So they got the good stuff too. I can't use the blue stuff, the cheap stuff. It freezes up in all our vehicles. It'll freeze up in the lines or at the nozzle. So I always use at least the Rain-X, the orangish color stuff. That Rain-X, that works pretty good. I think they even got purple now. It's even more supposed to be better yet, but haven't had any problem with the orange stuff. The orange stuff always works, but the blue stuff, that's the cheaper. Can't use it. It'll freeze up on us. Do 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 do. And I very rarely use my windshield stuff. Like my vehicles normally get washed for the most part. Where they don't get too bad, but when you need it, and that's when it'll be jammed up on you, and you're like, no, rush hour traffic, whatever, behind a semi. Oof. Do 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 do. Tease, do. Let's see. Tony says, can't compete with their prices on doors. Really, Tony? You can't compete with the boy, I don't know. I don't think I don't even think I've ever gone against them, honestly. I guess when I think about it on the commercial side, we kind of have a little bit, and I know they're kind of locked in. It sounds like they kind of do they'll do like a contract with these people, like a builder. They'll do a contract like for a year, and then I think they just give them like per square foot price for whatever that is. I think I don't know if anybody knows. Let me know. I think they might do like commercial prices or this, and then residential. Or I don't know about the residential so much, but I'm assuming they do it with some big builders. Maybe I don't see overhead hardly at any residential anymore in my outskirts town. Not that I get out there that much. Not like I used to. Or I always see their trucks around town. I don't see the trucks around town like I used to either. The little trucks. Um, but I'll see them on some of the bigger builders that are doing commercial. Uh, I mean, guy told me overhead door charges them 1,000 for travel. Excuse me, on top of the install. I was up front. I'd still need to get. Um, I was up front that I still need to get business insurance. Oh boy, you're gonna start chasing. You're gonna start chasing. Like I said, call, see what they're gonna charge you. You know what I mean? Um, it's a good way to learn. I mean, you'll realize real quick what you're missing, because they'll tell you, you don't have this or that, or you need this, or they'll take your money. And that's why, you know, it might be something you got to ask them too. Like, well, how much, how many do you normally average? You know, uh, dun, dun, dun. How many doors are they averaging install, or how many homes are they building? Like, are they one a month? Are they one every 3 months? Do 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 do. Let's see. Evans, this guy was still entertaining me somehow. Doors I can't like to install come up and said anything with Torque Master. Gross. Huh. Did the gripper work? The gripper worked. The gripper worked real good, Mr. Rich B. Worked really good. The only thing we went to do it on some smaller post. It was really no big deal. And once we went to wrap chain around the post, try to yank, it was just skipping all day long. I know there's a certain way to wrap the chain. We got it. But if anybody or Rich B, if you come across something that's a better way to grab a post chain, or maybe a chain that's got sharper edges, um, I kept on the slide. I'd wrap it, and then I'd wrap it underneath so it kind of choke it. Um, Definitely not an expert. We got one out today. We got a couple more tomorrow. We got to mess with, but no, the grapple thing worked amazing on the bigger posts. Those are 4x4s. Worked really good actually. Dun, 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 dun. Tony's got the smiley face. Joe, what's up? Joe. Hey boss, he says new to your channel. Can't wait to learn a little something from the channel. Oh, there's a great group of people here, so you'll learn plenty. If it's not me, it'll be somebody else, that's for sure. Because there's a lot of good guys here. Evan's got welcome, Joe. Oh, Tony. What's Tony got? 12 by 10. He says with full 12 by 10 with full roll windows, black, 3,700. For me to make any money, I have to come in at 4. That's pretty thin. Dang, that's pretty thin. What's Rusty Guy? Says just left Walmart with oil. Getting ready to do an oil change on truck tonight because I'm at my interval. And tomorrow's job's an hour and 15 minutes from home. Holy macro, man, I'm telling you. Like I said, we're shooting. Um, it's kind of funny about that oil. I was watching another guy. There's actually many guys I watch that buy their oil from Walmart. Walmart seems to have the best price. So maybe I'll have to start entertaining it. It is always kind of weird. Like, I was looking at windshield washer fluid, and I'm a big person where it's like, um, if I can just order it, because I hate going there in the shopping carts, and then it seems like everywhere you go nowadays, they're like, "Do you want to donate?" And I'm like, "No." They're like, "Well, would you like to give me a tip?" No. Well, would you like to? No. Just I want to pay you cash and leave. And you know, um, so it's a pain, right? So I'd rather just get it shipped. Well, I was even looking up windshield washer fluid. I was like, I'll just get it shipped. And it was double the price from what AutoZone had it. So I said, yeah, I said, well, I ain't doing that. I mean, so I'm going to AutoZone and get my $6-7 gallon of jug instead of 18 or whatever. So I said, you can't, there's just certain things, You got to kind of watch. I've not checked on the oil. I'm assuming that probably Walmart is going to be Amazon. But if it was like $2 or $3 more, but when we're talking 10, $20, yeah, I go buy it from Wally World. I heard Walmart actually has good for batteries too, because they rotate through them a lot and they're a lot cheaper, like car batteries. Um, something to think about. But the hour and 15, Rusty, oh man, I'm already dying at like an hour. And that one day kicked my hiney for 2 hours with bad road conditions. Oh, I really think the threshold is 45. That's the max of the max. But I get it. I mean, you can't, depends on people where they live, Ba, ba, ba. It says, I've got 3 jobs in the books, an hour from home in multiple directions. Man, I forget, Evan, do you in your area, your city? I can't remember. I feel like we talked about it. I can't remember. Brain is small. What's your what's your dense of population? I mean, how many people you got just like in your own town? You know what I mean? Because I tell you what, this job is great. This job is great. This is a just another, like, I like that saying, right? Lesson repeated until lesson learned. You keep repeating the same thing over, right? It's like insanity, right? Isn't that what insanity Einstein said? Insanity is repeating the same thing and expecting a different result. Yeah, that's what it feels like. I was explaining it to the kiddo the other day. I said, now this job is an hour away. And I said, you think about it, right? I said, you're putting all these more variables in there. We almost about 20 minutes in, the roads weren't good. I got sucked into the slush. Darn near put the truck sideways in the ditch. That would have been fantastic. And then we were hitting 30 miles an hour the whole way. We hit at 1.40 for maybe a 15-minute stretch. Took us 2 hours to get out there. It's just like when you're putting that distance in, it's, if you get a service call, you're more time on the road, right? That's why normally like your car insurance costs more than your house insurance, right? Because they know you're driving. There's more risk of hitting a bus, a kid, running a light, all kinds of weird stuff, And then the worst part is obviously if you go somewhere, that's the worst. You go somewhere and you forgot something, or you don't have something, or you forget to take a picture of something. That becomes a nightmare. Just becomes a nightmare. And it's like, I think it's what's eye opening too, is like, if you, like, realistically, all you gotta do is go to, like, when you think about it in a big picture, right? Go to U-Haul's website. Y'all got a U-Haul, I assume. Does Canada have U-Haul? Evan, does Canada have U-Haul trucks? Go to U-Haul and run your business off that, in a sense. Say, okay, I got to buy a vehicle, or I got to use a vehicle. It's going to cost me, $19 a day. And then it's going to cost me $1 per mile to run. And when you start, like, if you start managing your business like that and looking at it like that, you go, oh my gosh, for me to go out there, well, it's going to cost me $60, and then I got to put gas in the thing. So now we're talking, $70, $80. Okay. So what's $100, you know? And even if you use like a U-Haul or something, right? Like, instead of your personal vehicle, right? Because I don't know if anybody experiences this. So this is just me. Do you ever like look at your vehicles? You know what I mean? And like everywhere you look, you're like, oh man, that's starting to get a speck of rust on it. Dang. Or the salt's on it and like it's eating, or maybe the door's got something going on with it. It's got a ding in it, right? The nice part about when you rent, right? Like, I'm going through the salt. I could care less. I'm not cleaning this truck. I don't care it's eating on their bottom side of it. You just use it. But when it's your own, you shut the door a little nicer. You turn the ignition a little nicer. You put stuff in a little nicer, right? You don't want the headliners or whatever. You don't want to, I'm sitting in with a wrench, not deliberately. I gently sat because I obviously don't want to poke a hole. That's just not right. But I'm sitting in the seat with my wrenches in my back going, this is my brand new leather truck, 60,000, 80,000, 120,000 truck. Hell no. And I ain't gonna let nobody else sit in here. You ain't gonna sit in here. Go take your pants off. You sit in your underwear, mine, and take your shoes. Only socks. No, your socks are dirty too. Plastic bags for your feet. Anyways, it's just weird how the mind, I think, goes. At least mine does. Da, 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 da. They do have best price on oil. Nice. Nice. What do you think about the Wayne Dalton 9100? Well, it works. If it's a flip home or something, they just want something real efficient and cheap, the 91 works. I don't, what turns me off about them is I'm not a fan of proprietary, I can't say the word, hinges. I like everything to be very universal, especially up in Michigan. Um, I want to be able to go like when I go to an Ace Hardware or I go to a Walmart or I go to a Home Depot and I say, I need a garage door hinge. Like it pops up in their head, not the Wayne Dalton, right? Because Wayne Dalton got me one time. I remember we were doing 9600s maybe or something. All we had time for was on the weekend. And we had 3 doors, I think, to stack. And we ran into they somehow the packaging got screwed up, but the sections were like 2 of the same. And I was like freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what are we going to do? And I'm trying to call Lowe's because that's who it's through, blah, blah. And the guy's just like, I think we got some here on the shelf. I'm like, no, you don't. I doubt you do. Can you please send me pictures just about that time where, like, and how does their workers, Lowe's, they're not going to send it from their personal phone. So we just stacked them, made the weather seal like bow in or whatever we did. It worked, but I didn't have them on my truck, those kind of weird hinges and stuff. So they're all right. They work. Smaller the door, the better. I think the longer they last. Bigger doors have little problems. I can probably say for all of us, Joe, he says junk. Yeah, a lot of people don't like the Wayne Dalton. The Wayne Dalton. They got some good doors. I mean, they got some stuff that's in there that's not bad. I think of them just like most of them. It's just like the car manufacturers. Do you want the Ford Focus, or do you want the Ford, or you want an Expedition? You know what I mean? Or do you want the F-350 or the Lariat package or whatever? 50,000 at home. I'm not sure what entire county is. Yeah. So 50 is pretty good. I mean, because like we sit at 34, I think where the shop is. And I guess what I'm getting at is that I get it. I get it. I did it. I can't say, I don't know. It's hard because I guess I'd like to hear your guys' comments on it. I mean, I sit here and I kind of want to say, Rusty, come on, man, back me up. But I know Rusty travels too. And I think Rusty's it's in a rural area. But I agree with SOS where it's the 5 mile famous. And I understand that typically we don't do 5 miles. It's going to be more, but it's the concept. And what I always try to tell myself, like I've explained to you guys before, I always think of like California. If somebody called me in California or even right now in Ohio, and we're up here in Michigan, and they were like, hey, can the problem is that I'm going to leave time on the table, and it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. You know what I mean? By the time you start traveling there, by the time you hit something, by the time you hit a speed bump or whatever it is, or something in the road, and it punctures your oil pan. And now, the worst part is like I said, what really resonates with me is when I think about a tow truck driver, because if tow truck drivers in your area, you're technically going to need to call somebody in your area to come down, and they're going to charge you a lot, right? They're going to charge you per hour or whatever, because you need the vehicle or whatever to come back, or unless you get it fixed down somewhere, but normally they rake you over too. But for me, it's always just get it towed back because obviously, I don't want to go down there and deal with service people or whoever, and then have to be drove back down. Or if they're trying to snowball me, and I say, "Well, let me come down and take a look at it." Yeah, it needs a whole new motor, and I'm like, "Really?" So I mean, it's just when you travel, I can't. There's just so many layers to it where I just go, no, 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 no. I think I always like that. I go, Um, I can lose money sitting on my own couch. I'd rather lose money sitting on my own couch than to have the risk of being out on the road, the chances of wear and tear, breakdowns. Um, and maybe I'm just a little bit hardened. You know what I mean? I've spent many nights and weekends, um, you know, doing the brakes on my vehicle, fixing the tires or doing tie rod ends um, and so it's not fun. It's not fun. Dun, dun. And I think it's kind of like I think of it's like it's almost like to me it feels like it's a hidden tax, a slow inflation because you don't feel it right away. But that day comes when your truck or vehicle or whatever is has 100,000 on it, or 150,000, or 200 or 300,000, or it's blown up a transmission, and you're like, oh my gosh, I really don't have. Well, why don't you have the money? I mean, because well, you weren't charging enough, you were traveling too much. Remember that job you went to? And then you had to make 3 more trips because you forgot something or something didn't go right or something got messed up. It's not 10 minutes away where you just fly back, grab what you need at the shop, house, whatever, tools, parts, all your resources in town that you got a storage unit you're using. Excuse me. Da, 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 da. I'm not sure. Entry. Let's see. Costco has synthetic oil cheap too. Well, we're supposed to eventually get a Costco by us. They probably got the ground broke and maybe like kind of, I don't know how they're going to build it. I want to say footings, but I don't know what they do. Probably nothing right now, especially in the wintertime. Do 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 do. Morgan's here. What's up? Says there are 75 people in my town. 75? Holy cow. That's a very it says if I want jobs, it says I drive, although I am close to lot of big doors. And see, I might eventually, if I was really gonna pursue that for like Morgan, I'd probably really consider moving. I really would. Um, I just would. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know. You can't get back your time. You know what I mean? Like that time on the road, and then even if you're charging, woohoo. You know what I mean? You're probably still not charging enough, because the customer is going to go, well, or like I said, you're going to get there. I mean, it's just people can waste your time. I mean, I literally had like, how do you call it? I've had a friend through high school, not high school, through schooling, I guess, in a sense. We watched. My mom used to watch her, right, as a baby, and like daycare. She asked me to come out. They're doing a flip. Looked at it. I literally told her, luckily it wasn't far away. It was really close. But I told her $200. And I just seen they obviously got a door. I was doing it like they were gonna purchase it. Mm, okay, you know. I will keep that in the back of my brain. Please don't waste my time next time. You know, you want something? Either you know somebody or you did it yourself, whatever. Go ahead. I'm good. Do 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 do. I think what the worst part is too is like, for stuff like that, if somebody would even just communicate with you and say like, "Hey, we decided, I just wanted to give you a heads up, we decided to do it ourselves, or we just wanted something." That's cool. Like I like that courtesy, but when it's like, well, how you gonna beat $200? Low headroom, taking out a wood door. I'm good. Don't waste my time. I think the same, but a lot of people seem to like them. Uh, they like them, huh? Yeah. Hey, that's all right. Like I said, they work. They work. I'm not too, um, yeah, it's kind of funny because I was thinking about, I was thinking about Tanner today, and I was thinking about, I don't even know why. Maybe because I was like, I'm driving a Ford F-650, you know. I thought Tanner would be over there, boo. And I was thinking to myself, I don't care. I really don't care what I'm driving. As long as this son of a biscuit gets me home safely, I got a warm seat in here, I got a heater, I got a radio, I'm good. The ride is rough as hell, though. I ain't gonna lie. Da, 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 da. Costco's oil is cheap. Well, get my oil there, get my insurance there, get my hot dogs with no mustard there. Oh man. Yes, we have. Uh, what's Evan? Yes, we have you. We okay. So Evan says they do have U-Haul. Nice, 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 nice. Joe, I used to live 4 hours south. Oh, live. Okay, South Antonio. Nice. Ooh, Evan's getting the Trailblazer tomorrow. Make sure you send some pictures, man. Hopefully it works out good. Tony Tanner, are you still on here? I don't know if Tanner's still on here. He might have ran. He's been busy, 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 busy. Like I said, we'll go to about 10:30 or 10:45, depending, because I am whooped. You know, when you come back, you know how it is, right? You come back, and then you gotta go get fuel. I mean, you gotta get. I got the truck looking good. I got her looking good tonight. Everything slides around, everything on the floor. I got some stuff out of there. Got to get restocked up for the next day. It's a lot. It's a lot. People don't understand how much goes into this stuff. And like I said, when you deal with concrete, it's a total another level, especially in the cold. You know, you think about it, you go, well, it's not that. No, you got to bring water. You got to bring a mixer. You got to bring a wheelbarrow. And then you got to clean the crap. So you got to bring a brush to make sure you clean it. Then you got to have something to dispose in, especially if you're on a established job site, you know what I mean, where it's not like, you know, just sand everywhere and just dump it wherever. There's just a lot. And then, like I said, with the cold, that's wonderful. That's another factor. Do. Joe, what's it got? Rusty, we don't advertise that far away, Dave. He says it's a builder we know from this area, and he wants us out there. I get it. I get it. I get it. It's just one of those things. It's hard. It's hard to. And this is not for Rusty. This is for me. This is just my brain thinking out loud here. It's hard to tell a good builder or whoever no. And so like this job that we're messing with, right? That's an hour away. You know, you guys know how this goes. You know how when you're on the job, man, your brain is sitting, and I'm sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, what, you know, like I get this gate up and running, and this thing glitches out in a day or two. Who's responsible for that? This guy. I'm going to be responsible. Hey, you were out here a couple days ago. You know the gate. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's something's going on. Can you? It's like now they continuously, right? In a nutshell, you would think that's a good thing, right? You go, oh wow, that's oh, I'm gonna get all this business is great, but is it? Because now you're losing the customers that are close to home. Like I said, it resonated with me when the electrician, the guy lived 3 minutes away from this job site. Big builder came in, tearing down our power plant. And I remember him just telling me that, saying, Dave, he said, I had to tell him, we can't keep servicing you. He's like, because you're only going to be here for 3 years. We're losing our local customers it's like that, like the same saying, right? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. And we even have a customer that is down. And it's funny, I was just mentioning it to the Wifetron. I said, that job that we did that one night, that fence, that was actually too far away. I said, "That thing I got sick." I literally thought I was gonna go to the hospital because I had such chest pain from whatever was happening to me. I mean, I was within like 5 seconds, I couldn't breathe, from calling an ambulance, and I was to that point where I was in so much pain that I honestly, I would have rather died. I was thinking if this is what's going down, I just let me go. Like, I am in such agony, combined with some sickness and some kind of pain. I don't know what happened, but it was weird. Like, I couldn't catch my breath because every time I did it, I had my chest would almost like collapse. It was weird. I don't know how to explain it. But that job was too far away, and we worked too late. And but we wanted to get it done. We had 2 hours left, maybe two or three. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. We don't want to come back. Hit the like button for Uncle Dave. We got 11, man. We smashed it. We did great. 10 was courtesy enough. I am so thankful. Tony's got love my Fords. Love my Fords. You know, I was thinking, I think I'm pretty sure it's a gasser. So it's got the 7.3. And I did a little bit of research. I was like, I can't remember about the 7.3s. And I guess they got like delaminating and they got cam problems. I was watching, there's one guy, I don't know if it was at 80 or 100, 120. I was like, oof. I was like, yeah. And then I was watching a video how they did their pump. I guess they're like, it's like a chain drive with a shaft or something instead of like the guy was like, yeah, they could have easily made that a gear. They do some weird stuff sometimes. They all do. I'm not saying just Ford. Rich, warmer tomorrow and Friday. Thank you. The wind is what's killing us, just cutting through us. The spot, like I said, I think there's a cemetery across where we're working. The wind is just no trees, just comes right across the road and everything. It's brutal, just brutal. But hopefully I'll go check. Like I said, that box should be nice and warm. With the heater, I might toss some more fuel in it before the night ends. Tony's got Snare Stopper, some pretty nice seal Richby turned us onto. I actually got some. I have not installed it yet. So hopefully it works pretty good. The customer moved or something on the buildings. So we ended up never using it. So I got a roll of it sitting around. Tony, I'm looking at trailers. How big is the one you use on your minivan? Ooh, good question. I started out with one. I actually got the racks from Sam's Club. They were changing out all their racks, or not the racks, but no, they were doing racks. Was it racks? Yeah, they're getting rid of racks, like the metal racks. And so I used all the cross bracing, and I had the tubes already down the side, so I used those for like down. It's only 4 foot wide. I did it real slim. I did 4 foot. I think I did 20 or 21 feet long. And I used to haul that thing everywhere. Had like 3 foot, 4 foot sides on it. 4 foot? Nah, it's a little under probably. I think 4 foot was too high to reach over. Had a little axle. I only had like a couple $100 in it when I first built it, because everything I just had laying around. I think I even had an axle. I think the only thing I remember I spent money on was like the taillights and the hitch. So that was pretty cool, you know. But it's got rebuilt now, bigger axle. I still haven't finished it all. It's actually just a frame. Nobody uses it anymore. But there's a lot of different ways you can do it with the trailers. Probably it'd be nice to have it enclosed. So you just leave your tools and then hook up to your tools and go. That'd be nice. But obviously you don't want something massive and it's something back up. Trailers just didn't work out good for us, especially, you get in weird spots. You miss the house, you got to back up or back in the driveway, all that good stuff. It's, the trailer we had was real nimble. So it just, all depends. All right, guys, I'm gonna head out. I think, like I said, the hotline is pretty quiet for the most part. It's an old boat trailer converted into a flatbed. It's 16 feet long. Yeah, pretty much what we used to have. That's what ours was, just an axle like that. So cheap and expensive. It works. Just need something to haul the debris and stuff. And I always wish mine had like a lid. So like when I go down the road, I could just like throw cardboard in it and it would stay entrapped in there. That was my only thing. Or like lid, so it like like the side would come up, so you could like snow wouldn't get built up because I always had to shovel it. Or if you left something overnight and then it snowed, oh, I hate the snow. All right, guys, I'm heading out. Thanks for being here. We'll see what we can do. Maybe tomorrow or something, or Friday. We'll figure something out. Like I said, I gotta go tonight. I am beat down, and 4 o'clock comes early. So we'll talk to you later. Have a good night. Remember, keep your fingers. Sorry, Tony. Batman signal next time. I don't know. I get it. So see ya. Have a good night.